Not listening when you say goodbye.
Oh, we're gonna die. Welcome to the vlog, welcome to No Boring Days. In this video, I'm gonna talk about how to bike vlog. We'll touch on equipment, audio, video, editing, and story a little bit. Oh, now you can't see me. Oh well. First, let's go on a bike ride. What else, guys? Bye, Jer.
Hi there. Spider. How do I get myself back to the place where you say I want something else
To get me through this semi-chump kind of life, baby, baby. I
want something else. Not listening when you say goodbye.
Oh, we're gonna die. Okay, so let's talk equipment. Usually I just bring one camera, that's the GoPro. I'm holding it right now. It is currently a GoPro Hero 7 because my GoPro Hero 8 conked out. Rest in peace. The reason why I bring a GoPro is that it is the easiest camera to carry with me when I am cycling. The video's okay, audio's okay. Not the perfect camera, but it's small, it's easy to carry. If I drop it while on the bike, it will very likely survive. That's why I use the GoPro. One other thing I forgot about the GoPro is that I have this mouth mount thing on it. It allows me to use both hands while on the bike by putting it on my mouth. Okay, back to the video. But sometimes I'll bring another camera. Today I am bringing my Micro Four Thirds Olympus camera to take some stills. The camera doesn't really matter that much, especially now that the phones take beautiful video. So if you don't have the camera equipment, try using your phone. I've used my phone in many vlogging situations and it is fine. If you have the ability to shoot beautiful video, then go for it. Shoot really beautiful footage. But if you don't know how to do it, don't worry about it too much. This is vlogging. Video quality or great footage doesn't matter as much. There's a lot of very successful vloggers who just don't have that great footage, and they can get away with it because cameras are really good. I mean, okay, don't get me wrong, when I say not great footage, just make sure the footage is not too shaky, that it's still clear, that you know you can see the person that you're taking video of. He's not too bright, not too dark, things like that. Basic stuff. So not shaky like this. What's up with the surge in the end, Gene?
Trying to go hard a little bit. I mean, I had an hour in. It's pretty good.
I tried to stay behind you and I'm like, why is he getting farther and farther in front of me? I'm looking down. I'm going. This is my zone too. Gino, putting the gas on. Which brings us to the next part of vlogging, which is the audio. Situation like this where I'm moving, there's wind, there's car noise. It's not the most ideal situation. So this is also like one of the most challenging bits of shooting a vlog. Let's try to get to a more quiet spot. Okay, so let's talk about audio. So audio is super important, arguably more important than footage. For a cycling vlog, when you're outside, you're just trying to bike, you are at the mercy of your environment. So audio is probably the biggest challenge for me. So when I say audio, I am primarily referring to the person speaking on camera. Their audio has to be really clear. It's so important that for whatever reason, when their audio is not clear, either I don't use the footage, or if I feel like it is integral to the story, then I will put subtitles on the video. So the more you vlog, the more you will realize which situations have decent or passable audio and which ones don't. So like right now, it's not perfect. There's a fan above me that has a little hum in the background. I need it though because it's gonna get kind of warm if I just turn that off. And it's raining also. But it's not pouring rain, so the audio is not that horrible. It is usable, although you might occasionally hear my kids in the background. Okay, which brings us to editing. First thing I do during the edit is I compile all my footage and have two main buckets. The first bucket is story and the second bucket is B-roll. For speed, I just put all of the story footage in story and all the B-roll footage in B-roll. Basically, if there's somebody talking in the video, I will put it in story. Then I put all the footage on the timeline thing. You should take note that I am not a video expert. I learned to do all this in 2020 when I started vlogging. So this is the point of view of somebody who barely knows what he is doing. So after I put all the footage on the timeline and I move it, I separate some of the footage from the B-roll and the story. For audio, I do a quick trick. I add noise reduction on the main story timeline. It helps get rid of the hums in the background. And then also I filter out the bass and I add some compression on the story timeline. So basically, whenever there's somebody talking, there's usually noise reduction, there's usually a filtering out of the bass, and there's usually some compression on it. In terms of the shots, in terms of putting the vlog together, I make sure to include a lot of shot variety when I shoot vlogs. That means shots from different angles, different settings. I'm not really a fan of the one continuous video shot. Like sometimes people just have a GoPro camera on their chest and then they just turn it on and then that's the whole vlog. It can be like 30 minutes of just the chest camera and them talking over it. I personally do not enjoy watching that style of vlogging, so I usually don't make that style of vlogging either. And then going back a little bit to the equipment, the settings in the GoPro matter. Basically, I watched a video from the Lone Ranger. He made a bunch of videos about setting up the GoPro to make it look really good, and I just followed everything he did. One last thing on equipment. My first few vlogs were run on a computer that could barely handle video, and I decided to upgrade. I still upgraded to a less than ideal laptop because I didn't want to spend the money on something that I didn't think I was going to be doing very long, and that was back in 2020. And I bought this refurbished laptop. It could barely handle video. It did not have a graphics card. I think I did how many videos do I have? Hundreds of videos using this laptop over here. Now I recently purchased this Acer Nitro 5. It is a proper video editing laptop. It has a big screen. It can handle video. There's very little before when I was editing videos, sometimes the video wouldn't even play straight. This might be more important than the camera because it allows me to edit it all together. So spending money, and if you need to spend money on equipment, one of the best places to do it would be the laptop or the computer, in my opinion. Okay, that's it on equipment for editing. I think we need some emphasis for this part. The most important part of vlogging is the story. This is also the most difficult part to get right. And then this is where I struggle the most. So when I make a vlog, I have to ask myself this question: what is this vlog about? Sometimes I start a vlog with a topic in mind, but other times, especially when I'm just riding with my friends and when it's a long ride and it's like an adventure ride, we don't really know what's gonna happen. Sometimes I just let the camera roll and I record as much dialogue and action as I can. Then during the edit, I see if there is a story somewhere in there. What exactly is a story? I try to keep things super simple. A story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. The beginning is an introduction of your characters, introduction of what's happening, introduction of what to expect in this video. The middle, it can be the conflict, it can be this fun thing that happens, it can be this information sharing thing somewhere in the video. In the end is a summary of what happened, a realization possibly, something that ties a nice little bow through the whole video. Fortunately, I find that bike rides tend to have a very simple story format. So I stole something from Dustin Klein. In the end of his videos, he usually does his ride by the numbers, where he tells you how many kilometers, how many hours moved, and how much his elevation gain is. And I do that for a lot of the videos, and I feel like it is an easy way to tie a nice little bow to the whole story. So if you can figure out what kind of story your vlog is, then the other difficult thing when vlogging is finding, very similar to art, very similar to music, it's finding your voice, finding the style for yourself. So one way to get better at vlogging is to look for inspiration. For me personally, my very early inspiration was Casey Neistat. I loved his whole casual style, fast-paced vibe, and generally quirky personality. I've watched hundreds of his videos, and that was well before I started cycling. And then when I started cycling, I also found cycling vlogs that I enjoyed. And I already mentioned Dustin Klein. I also like Francis Cade. And early on, don't be afraid to copy the style of the vloggers that you like. If you do it long enough, if you create enough videos, you'll figure out your own voice and figure out things that work for you. So I stole from everybody, from like Casey Neistat, Dustin Klein, Francis Cade, the vegan cyclist, a whole bunch of people. So I steal as much as I can, and hopefully from stealing all of those things from different sources, it all melds into this thing that I can call my own. Okay, so I hope this helps. I hope you tag me in a vlog that you do if this helped you at all. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I answer every question. I have not yet been bombarded with too many comments on the vlog, so feel free, comment below. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, no boring days. Please subscribe.